You know, my mom used to say, God rest her soul, that if a game's worth watching, the only part that's important is the last 2 minutes of the game. Apparently, this Tennessee basketball team, in connection with Saturday's game against Georgia, they live by the same mantra, because for 38 minutes it was ugly. The last two, beautiful. Tennessee escapes. By the way, I think Dalton Connect disconnected again. It's the Volunteer Club locker room connected by Spyre Sports. This is the Player Show. You didn't like the whole he just connected again?
That's not the problem I had.
What was the problem?
It played well longer than 2 minutes.
I don't know, man. We'll have to see what the Easter Bunny thinks about that here. Tony Jones comes walking in thinking it's Easter over here, and we got the hoodie down here thinking Bill Belichick's going to the Cowboys after the debacle today. Okay, so let's start first off with the Georgia game. What a comeback in all seriousness. Tony, we'll start with you.
Hey, Tennessee up 14 points in the first half.
Down.
They was up 14.
Up 14.
Come on now.
No. But I
up 14 points in the first half. Then they take a 5-point lead into halftime.
Yeah.
And then Georgia comes out smoking.
Right.
They take an 11-point lead.
Yeah.
And then Georgia is up with 4 minutes and 30 seconds by 8 points.
Yeah.
And then at the 2:30 mark, the game is tied.
Yeah.
You know, veteran teams withstand leads, and that's what Tennessee did on Saturday.
You know, when you play teams that are just not that good, sometimes they can affect you. You can play down the competition. And Tennessee was up by 14, was feeling really good, was getting a little sloppy with the basketball, and Georgia was able to capitalize and create some momentum going into halftime. And then they came out with the same momentum in the second half, and they were making everything, 14 threes on the day. I don't think Georgia has ever made 14 threes in a game, but they were able to do it against Tennessee. And so they gave Tennessee their best punch. Tennessee didn't play their best ball, taking care of the basketball ourselves, and still was able to win on the road. I think that was a really, really high character win.
You know, you look at the stats. What jumps out and grabs you here as far as the stat line? Tony does notes over here. He comes in like he's prepared for an exam at Johnson Bible University, where he's an assistant coach. What do you got here?
Well, you know what? We shot a better percentage from three. We shot at least 34%, where against Mississippi State, we only shot 27% from three. So that was key.
Okay.
We out-rebounded Georgia. And I think Adu was just unbelievable on the glass. I believe he got 15 rebounds, and I think that was the key right there.
Yeah, Georgia wasn't going to come inside the paint and get their points. It was going to have to be shooting the ball on the outside, and they were able to do that. Jonas had several blocks, changed several other shots too. He is a presence down in the paint. But I think rebounding is the biggest stat.
What about that instance when Tennessee got an offensive rebound late in the game, popped it out, made a shot, and that was huge.
Off a free throw.
Off a free throw.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was major.
I will say this as you look at the scores, and obviously Connect comes through with 36 points, and he was the key. It's fun to see guys like Kevin Durant putting things out on Twitter, don't call me X, about how he's balling out. I think here's the question I don't know what this Tennessee team is right now, because of the fact that there's been so many ebbs and flows. You talk about up by 14, then you talk about just going to sleep for a while. Then you talk about waking up and coming back and winning the game. The Mississippi State game was a bit of a head scratcher. Who is Tennessee right now?
This is what I'm going to say in conference play. And in America, the toughest conference is the conference you play in, and the SEC is so good and so deep.
Okay.
So they could be playing Vandy. And,
it's coming.
And you know, it could be ebbs and flows in those games. You know, they got Florida and Alabama coming up. And Florida has had some great wins this year. They beat, and Alabama's 3-0 atop the league. So the league is so good, Jason, and so deep. So anything can happen. Defense carries. It carries and it travels. And it traveled to Georgia. And it traveled to Mississippi State. It travels to Mississippi State because they were down, and then they went into our organized chaos. They started pressing. They started doing a diamond full court press, and they turned Mississippi State over unbelievably a number of times, and that got them back into the basketball game. So it's going to be ebbs and flows all year long, Pac-Man, because it's a good conference.
This is a league that's going to get 7 teams in, and there's been talk about this league possibly getting 8 teams in.
Yes.
So this is a really, really good league. Started a couple of years ago when you start seeing some big-name coaches into the league, and they start recruiting at a high level. There's a lot of great athletes in this league, and so every night's going to be tough. And Tennessee has a target on his back because they've been so good over the last couple of years. So you can't sleepwalk at any game, especially going on the road.
I guess my question is going to be this for the last question of this segment. How important was it that Tennessee came back and beat Georgia? Because how different the conversations would be right now if we're talking about a team that lost at Mississippi State and lost at Georgia in 1 week as the number 5 team in the country. So the last few minutes of that game for me could be key to this season.
Confidence. You got a few people that's not really playing well. The last few games. Josiah James hasn't been playing well.
Okay.
Gainey, 0 for 6, 0 for 5 from 3 the last 2 games. Vescovy having trouble finding.
Disappearing a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they lose that game against Georgia and those 3 individuals not playing well, it puts a lot more pressure on them in the upcoming games.
Yeah, I remember 2 years ago, Tennessee had a close loss to Texas, where they were down, they came back.
Right.
Josiah had the shot, the buzzer, didn't make it. But that was when Kenny Chandler changed his game. And this team just went on a tear and won the SEC tournament. You just never know what game is going to be the game that kind of turns things around. Georgia gave Tennessee their best shot.
Yeah.
And Zagaz Ziegler had 6 turnovers, didn't shoot the ball great from the three-point line.
Yeah.
And Tennessee was still able to win. And so I don't anticipate another game like that from Zagaz Ziegler. I don't anticipate Josiah Jordan James continue to play the way he's been playing in the slump. I think this is a game that could propel Tennessee to go on a big run.
Okay. The back half of the schedule gets a little bit tougher for Tennessee, so it'd be a good time to go on a run right now. We got a couple players in studio. We'll visit with them a little bit later, but if you would like to be a part of what's going on with the Volunteer Club and Spyre Sports, scan the QR code, give you access to all kinds of cool events on campus, parties, also discounts on autographed apparel from your favorite Tennessee players. Scan the code and be a member of the Volunteer Club today. We've got Awaka and Carr in studio. Lots more to get to here on the Volunteer Club locker room, and it is powered by Spyre Sports.
The Volunteer Club locker room is brought to you by the Volunteer Club. Real Vol fans are members of the Volunteer Club. Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, Lincoln Memorial University, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
Abraham Lincoln knew the power of an open door. He invited the public into the White House throughout his presidency because he understood open doors lead to new possibilities, new opportunities, and new discoveries. At LMU, our mission is to open doors for every student who comes here, so they can become everything they're meant to be. Come discover how we can open doors for you.
You know, life happens, and damage to your home can be extremely stressful. That's why it's important to find someone who offers efficient, quality work with financing options. Exterior Home Solutions, they value not only family, but community. And they're who I call when life happens, and you should too.
Reach for the power with Dynabody Fitness. New Dynabody equipment is manufactured right here in Tennessee and shipped all over the country. Custom built, rugged, and guaranteed for life. Visit Dynabody.com and experience the difference.
Safety, integrity, reliability. More people trust the Joe Newbert family to return their vehicle back to its original condition or better. Only Joe Newbert Collision Centers offer pickup and delivery, worry-free insurance claim handling, and guaranteed repairs for as long as you own your vehicle. Insist on locally owned Joe Newbert Collision Centers. And drive safely out there.
Your roof, it's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions.
Well, the Garza Law Firm Play of the Week could have been a number of them, but as I said, whatever, when Dalton connected. It's the second time tonight, man. Come on, Swain. Jumping on it. 36 points for that guy as the Garza Law Firm Play of the Week. Wait, dumb question, but that's why I keep myself around. How big of a difference could Dalton Connect be for this team as far as to that level versus that level?
In my estimation, he's a pro. I've coached 13 NBA players. My brother played in the NBA. Obviously, Tobias Harris might be the most celebrated Vol that's in the NBA right now. This kid will be a first-round draft pick and possibly a lottery pick.
Really?
You know, he reminds me a little bit, got a little Tyler Hero in him, a little Rex Chapman in him, but he's athletic.
Wow.
He's what we call a three-level scorer. He can score at the rim. He's a mid-range guy, and obviously he can knock down the three. And he propelled Tennessee to a great win over Georgia. They ran a high ball screen for that three that he made and took the lead. And you know, Rick gave it to his best player, and his best player made
Don't
the play.
be mentioning three-level players to Swain here, who's a one-level rebounder, and that's when the ball hits the ground.
Golly. My goodness. Now, Dalton Connect is what this team was missing. I mean, this team last year was #1 defensive efficiency, but offensively, the ball would get stuck. When the shot clock would run down, no one could get to the rim. We settled for jump shots. You have a guy that can get to the rim, can create for his teammates, can finish around the rim, get to the free throw line, can make free throws. He is the closer, and I think that's something that this team is going to need later on in the season.
Let's bring in the guys that are going to be with us, our players tonight. We've got Tobe Awaka and we've got Cam Carr. I'm going to go ahead and ask Cam a question because I know that the question that Tony's going to ask Tobe could take about 5 minutes for him to get it out of his mouth, okay? So, Cam, let me ask you, the winning mentality that this team has, how infectious is that in practice?
Man, very, very, very infectious. I think our fifth-year seniors have done a very good job of instilling it into the younger group and showing us what it's like to win and how to go about winning.
Okay.
Tobe, more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. What's the art of going to the offensive glass and getting offensive rebounds, which you seem to have mastered?
I think it's just mentality overall. Just saying that the guy who's trying to box me out, you know, you're not going to do it, you're not going to get in my way, and I'm going to get the ball by any means necessary. I would say that my freshman year playing against guys like Uros Plazovic, Olivier Nkamwa, those guys, you know, it really helped me hone in my mentality and just get used to the physicality of college basketball. And I think that's something that helped me grow throughout my freshman year, and it's something that I'm continuing to, you know, sort of utilize my sophomore year as well.
Oh boy, you've taken a lot of steps forward. We look forward to sending Jason Swain over there, the Food City player perspective, when we come back.
The Volunteer Club Locker Room is brought to you by Ted Russell Ford, KOC, the official orthopedic partner of University of Tennessee Athletics, Better Mattress, Commercial Bank, Pilot, and KnoxvilleSmiles.com.
You know, life happens, and damage to your home can be extremely stressful. That's why it's important to find someone who offers efficient, quality work with financing options. Exterior Home Solutions, they value not only family, but community. And they're who I call when life happens, and you should too.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
I'm an owner.
I am an owner.
I'm an owner.
And we're locally owned.
Gray Hodges has been serving the Knoxville area with quality craft-made cabinetry for over 7 decades now. Craft-Made manufactures high-quality kitchen and bath cabinets in a wide variety of finishes with modern and traditional styles to choose from. Visit one of our 4 locations and let a Gray Hodges owner show you the perfect craft-made design to fit your needs. Gray Hodges. Employee-owned, service perfect.
Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair is proud to be celebrating 70 years of serving East Tennessee. That's 70 years of old-school customer service, trustworthy auto repair, and of course, great deals on tires. Each one of our 5 convenient East Tennessee locations feature family-friendly waiting areas, and you can schedule appointments and search for tires right on our website at matlocktireservice.com. Modern convenience, hometown values. For 70 years and counting, Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair.
When you're 6'4" and 320 pounds like I am, finding a mattress is a challenge. That's why I went to Better Mattress for help. It's not about just selling big store brands. At Better Mattress, it's about making a mattress that fits the person's body type and their personal preferences. Look, after a big football game, this body is tired and sore. I have to have a mattress that helps me rest and rejuvenate. Big O and Better Mattress. Good night, just got better.
Your roof, it's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions.
Time now for the Food City player perspective. And Tony Jones, it's interesting. Every time we get these players in studio, it makes me think of how much depth this team has.
Yeah, they do have some depth. You know, we talked last week with JP, and Freddie came in and gave him some quality minutes. I think he played 4 or 5 minutes. He's a combo guard, and moving forward, I think he may maybe get into the rotation.
Okay. All right, let's head over to Jason Swain. Got a couple of guys, key players for this team. Jason?
Yeah, Cam, Carr, guys, you played on the road a couple games, but SEC play is totally different. The Food City Center, there's nothing like it. You guys play very well at home. But what's the number one thing that stands out when you're on the road? A lot of trash talking going on in the Georgia game. I know it was a hostile environment. Well, what stands out on those road games inside of the conference?
I think it's just the atmosphere in terms of, their fans. We're a ranked team coming into their house, and they're trying to, knock off a contender. So I think, just the fans, the atmosphere, just having to deal with that. I think that's one of the biggest things. But, we're a veteran team. We have older guys on the squad that lead very well. And, just them guiding us, it leads us to victory.
Cam, what's been your mentality? Everybody wants to come in, they want to play. You're the guy in high school, but you understand what Rick Barnes has built here, and you're going to get developed on a daily basis. What's kind of your mentality, even though you're not getting the minutes that everybody wants to get right now?
Yeah. Honestly, just developmental. Just try to learn from the fifth years as much as possible and take in and learn and grow from where the day before and try to build it like brick by brick, really, and just be patient. Just patience.
Guys, walk me through a Rick Barnes practice. The hardest practice. What does the hardest practice inside of a Rick Barnes practice look like?
I would just say a lot of up and down. I think more than most schools, we just play basketball a lot. It's really just going up and down. But we're not just playing any kind of basketball. We're playing Tennessee basketball, and we're playing basketball the right way. So that's a lot of stopping, a lot of critiques. If he doesn't like what you did, you go run, but you come right back and get right back into the action. So it's definitely intense, really competitive. I think that's something that the older guys bring to practice a lot. And then also just accountability. You're held accountable for your mistakes. Your effort isn't sort of, I would say, effort is required. So that's the bar.
What does it take, Cam, to get the green light from Rick Barnes? How many shots you got to make during the course of the summer on a daily basis for Rick to say, hey, if you open, let it rip, and hey, if you have a hand in your face, we trust you, let it rip. What do you need to do to get the green light?
Honestly, personally, right now, I don't have the green light. He told me the other day in practice, he said, out of all the dudes on the court right now, you have the least green light.
You got the yellow light.
So right now, I personally don't have it, but man, I feel like it's just something you show every day. So Dalton Connect, Santi, Zakai, Josiah, Jonas, they go in and they show it every single day, like why they have the green light and what they do to have the green light. And so, yeah.
Tobe, I don't think that if the other team gets a technical foul, you'll be shooting the free throws, okay? But you shot the ball in the 40 percentile last year from a free throw line. And right now you are in the 70s. What did you do in the summer to improve your free throw shooting?
I think it was just correcting my form, really. That was the biggest thing. You could practice free throws all you want, but if you're shooting the wrong form, you're just not going to make them. You know, a few lucky ones might bounce in, you know, here and there. But it was just working with the coaches, sort of seeing where my shot, you know, wasn't at its best and just working on it. And then once I got that right form down, you know, just repetition, repetition, repetition. And, you know, we have a great coaching staff, guys that'll stick with you in the gym until, you know, you get it right. And that's been the biggest thing. And then obviously in game, you know, nerves are definitely a part of it. But, you know, just being calm, trusting your work, trusting what you've done in the off season. I think that's the biggest thing. Once you know that, you know, you've put in the work towards something, you know, there's no nerves during the game. You know, your work kind of shows itself. So I think that's sort of been the biggest thing for me.
Question for both of you guys. Which atmosphere at Food City Center stands out the most? Like, you guys have played some pretty good teams inside of the Food City Center. Which one stands out the most to you guys so far in your early career?
You want to
Yeah, it's been pretty slim. These are my first couple games at the Food City Center. But Ole Miss was a crazy environment. It shows like how many people are really standing behind our team and where they want us to go. And like, I feel like it really makes the fans excited that we're playing top-level basketball against top-level teams, and we're coming out with really good like results.
Tobe, you got 2 years. Well,
for sure.
You had a freshman year, and you entering your second year. What game kind of stood out to you as far as atmosphere?
I would definitely say that game against Texas last year at home. College game day, it was a great atmosphere. Arena was packed, fans were loud. You know, we showed out. Wanted to get that revenge win after the year before. You know, we had lost a close one. So I think that game was probably the biggest I've been a part of.
Good stuff. These two guys from the north. It's supposed to be snowing here in a couple days, so they'll be laughing at all of us Southerners. But these guys, they'll be the future for Tennessee basketball. Toby's already doing it right now. Rebounding monster.
Yeah, going to be a crazy week with the temperatures going down. We'll see how that affects the schedule this week. We'll talk about what's coming up this week, coming up next year in the locker room.
The Volunteer Club Locker Room is brought to you by the Volunteer Club. Real Vol fans are members of the Volunteer Club. Matlock Tire, Gray Hodges, Humana, D1 Training, and Aqua Clear Water Systems.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set. What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I'm Dr. Mike Costa, Malone & Costa Dentistry. You can find us at KnoxvilleSmiles.com. I'm standing here in front of a dental robot. We're one of 2 dentists in the state of Tennessee that utilize this cutting-edge technology. Do you have a broken tooth, a tooth that's in pain, or a denture that doesn't fit well? Maybe you're a little anxious? You can come in and we offer comprehensive sedation services and utilize this awesome technology to give you precise, accurate care. If you think this technology can help you, visit our website at KnoxvilleSmiles.com. I look forward to helping you.
Knoxville is my home. I was born and raised here, and I was blessed to raise my family here. This community is one that I'm proud to live in and serve every day. At Ted Russell Ford for over 50 years, we've been Knoxville's hometown dealer. Helping our friends and neighbors own their first car or their dream car or truck has been our absolute pleasure. At Ted Russell Ford Lincoln, we will continue to serve our community because East Tennessee, you've always supported us. Thank you.
Visit us at one of our 2 locations on Parkside Drive or Kingston Pike, or online at tedrussellford.net.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
I was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
All right, who made a difference this week as we go inside the orange with Humana? Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it was Dalton Connect. What a finish to the Georgia game. I mean, you know, anytime I said, hey, who's the play of the week? Well, just throw in Dalton. Who's the player of the game? Okay, well, just throw in Dalton Connect. It was just that kind of game.
It was a great game. It was a great comeback, especially in the second half, and Tennessee really, really needed that victory.
Talk about this week coming up. You got 2 home games at Food City Center. Jason, 2 big ones.
Absolutely. I mean, and this team owes Florida for last year. I mean, Florida was able to kind of start the bad streak, losing streak last year. So you owe Florida for sure. So you played on the road, but this team feeds off the crowd, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at the Ole Miss game last week, and to kind of piggyback what Cam was saying over there, it was a fun atmosphere.
It's going to be a great atmosphere. I'm going to be there on Tuesday. Ty Golden is the head coach of Florida. Me and him coached together at Auburn. He's going to have his team ready to play. He's a very talented young coach, and he's going to do a good job. And then Alabama comes in on Saturday, and they 3-0. Yeah. They're undefeated. Nate Oates, we know what type of basketball program he's built at Alabama. His team's going to get up and down the floor. They're going to shoot threes, and they're going to get after you on the defensive end.
It's going to be a fun basketball game to watch between Tennessee and Alabama because of the style of play. I mean, Tennessee's letting it fly. Dalton Connect playing off the dribble one-on-one, little isolation. Sometimes we're not used to seeing that with the Rick Barnes system, but Dalton has a green light because he can do it. So that Alabama-Tennessee game is going to be really fun to watch.
About 30 seconds to go. Excuse me, Tony. You talk about parity in the league. Kentucky going and losing to Texas A&M. They were 0-2. I mean, it just shows you that on any given day, anybody can beat anybody.
Anybody can beat anybody. You know what I like to see, and it happened a little bit in the Georgia game, where Awaka and Adu played together. If Josiah James is not going to, be as productive as he's been in the past, put those guys at the 4 and 5. Let's play big and let's dominate the glass and let's get after people physically.
I like it. Jones can step out, shoot the shot. We see Awaka, his game offensively on the post has developed. He has a turnaround on both shoulders. He can do it.
Yeah, Adu will be in studio next week, by the way, right here on The Locker Room. Tennessee at home twice. We'll see you next week right here on the Volunteer Club Locker Room, powered by Spyre Sports. This is the Players Show.
Gets in the lane, shut off, back to Connect. Now to James, drives to the basket, puts it off the glass and in. There we go. Nashak brings it back out front, gives to Connect. He's wide open left wing and drills it. Money! Ziegler back to Connect. Connect, free throw line, pulls up from there, fires and hits. Backing down Melendez, gets it out front Ziegler. He explodes to the basket. A little floater is good down the lane. Big shot by Ziegler. Goes to James. James dives to the basket, puts it off the glass, no good. Adu tips, another tip is good. I think they'll give it to James. James lobs it in the corner to Adu. Now to Connect. Here we go. Connect again.